Wanna be drunk when I wake up, on the right side of the wrong bed, and never an excuse I made up to tell you the truth. I hate what didn't kill me, it never made me stronger at all.
Ed, right there. Hey Ed, how you doing? Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, hello everybody. It's Saturday night. Welcome to the Jonathan Ross Show. I am loving the X Factor this year. You enjoying the X Factor? Yeah! Here's my favourite, Rylan. Of course, it's got to be Rylan. There you go. Or as I like to think of him, Cry Hard with a Vengeance. There was controversy last week, of course, with rumours of vote rigging. Did you see that picture of the producer talking to Louis Walsh? Yeah. There you go, very suspicious, but no. Wasn't actually suspicious. Louis Walsh just got confused. He thought the producer whispered Rylan in his ear, but the producer was pointing at Louis' hair and saying, Nylon, we think it's nylon. To be honest, they're going to have to keep Rylan anyway, because no one's going to want to deal with that if he's voted off. Can you imagine? It took him 3 days to recover when he ran out of bronzer. And if you think Rylan's annoying, just thank your lucky stars he doesn't have a twin, because imagine if there were two of them, Redwood. Imagine that. Ladies, would you like to see an Australian hunk lying out in all his glory for you? OK, I warn you, he's hot stuff and he knows it. Here he is. I promise we haven't enhanced that photo. We didn't change him. That is how that kangaroo chooses to lie around. He knows he's got it going on, doesn't he? Look at that. OK? That is one cool kangaroo. Either that or Shane Warne has finally had too much work done. OK, we do have a packed show, as always, but I'm thrilled with our musical guest. He's not just going to perform live, he's going to chat to us as well. It's Ed Sheeran, ladies and gentlemen.
Maybe I'll get drunk again. I'll be drunk again. I'll be drunk again. To feel a little love.
That's a talented young man right there. Thank you, Ed. Gonna have some fun later on. Let's see who else is on the show tonight. My first guest is an author, he's a comedian, he's an actor, and he is one of the best-known and best-loved fundraisers in the country. It's David Walliams. Hello, David. Look how smiley you are.
Oh, thank you.
David, contrary to what you might expect, is married to a genuine supermodel, the beautiful Lara. That's a lovely thing. I'm thrilled for you, and it's a lovely union then. It means, of course, they have to have a massive walk-in wardrobe at home, so there's room for all the suits belonging to David and all the dresses belonging to David. David Walliams, ladies and gentlemen, he's on the show. I'm thrilled he's here, the lovely David Walliams. OK, my next guest, bizarrely, is fresh from this week's Tory party conference. OK, you might think that's a little out of character for us, but you will understand when I tell you it is the fabulous Charlotte Church. So Charlotte, you were out there, you were talking at the conference.
Yes.
This is because you were up before the Leverson inquiry earlier this year or the year before, wasn't it?
Yes, basically. I was there on behalf of Hacked Off and kind of everybody it represents, which was fun. It was such fun.
Oh, so Hacked Off is part of that? I thought Hacked Off was something to do with Boris Johnson's hair. I didn't realise...
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, Charlotte Church will be out here chatting a bit later on. My next guest is the Duchess of Dagenham, the Empress of Essex, the Lady of Loughton, the Princess of Plaistow, the Baroness of Billericay. It is Stacey Solomon. Actually, Stacey, it's lovely to see you. I should have checked earlier. You are... I gave you that big roll call there, but you are actually from Essex, aren't you?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Your accent is, your way of speaking is so distinct, isn't it?
So lovely, isn't it?
Oh, I like it. Have you
Charming.
ever... Do you ever disguise it? If you phone someone up, I imagine if you phoned a call centre or someone, they would know immediately it was you. All
the time. Sometimes I ring up, like, Topshop or somewhere, and I'm like, oh, have you got this jumper? And they go, is that Stace? Scary.
Stacey Solomon, ladies and gentlemen. Shut your eyes, you couldn't be anyone else. Before we get the guests out, let me just tell you a story. I love this story. I saw it in the papers the other night. A pair of elderly gardeners gained the attention of the police this week because a big bush that they had bought at a car boot sale and taken home, an exotic plant, and tended lovingly over the years in their back garden, turned out to be a cannabis plant. Okay? According to, much like that one right there. Okay? It was a huge cannabis plant, the biggest that Bedford police had ever seen, they said. They couldn't believe how big it was. They even called a gardening expert to check it out. And his verdict... awesome weed. Look at that, he looks off his tits there, doesn't he? But that can happen to anyone. It was an innocent mistake. These old folks, they didn't know it was a cannabis plant. You wouldn't know a cannabis plant if you saw one, would you, Ed?
No.
Could happen to anyone. You go to a garden centre, you come back with something you don't know what it is. For example, I bought this lovely vase the other day. It was only when I got it home that I realised that it had been used by other people. And this delightful, I've got this lovely, I've got this incense burner here. Okay, quite innocent. They sold me this incense to go with it. I tell you what. Oh, Ed's interested in that.
Yeah. My gran's watching this, man.
Is she? Can she roll one that big? Let's get my first guest out. He is one of the funniest men on the planet. He's also a lovely guy. It's Mr. David Walliams. Here he is.
Thank you for having me on.
It's lovely to have you. Come and sit down. Get yourself coffee. I'm great. And you know why I'm feeling very relaxed and happy? Because I've had you on before and you're one of my dream guests.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you're funny, but you're also smart and you've done so much with your life in a comparatively short space of time that it's easy to talk to you.
I'm 21. That's a lot in.
21 on each side. David has a book out, and it's just out now. You may well have seen some of the stories. It's been already reported in various newspapers. Certain things have been picked up on in particular. It's called Camp David.
Funny about that.
and there are a lot of surprises in it. Perhaps the biggest surprise is you are straight.
Mm. Which I didn't know till I read the book.
But you do talk about in there actually questioning yourself and wondering whether you were straight or gay, which path you were going to take in life, or which path was predestined for you.
Yes. Yes, well, let's start with that. Well, I didn't have a girlfriend till I was, like, 21.
But that is not... I mean, because you weren't necessarily a kind of an outgoing guy, were you? You were sort of... Not nerdy is the wrong word, but you were a stay-at-home kind of person.
Yes, I wasn't very outgoing, really quite shy as well. So I think this exhibitionism probably masked the shyness.
So when you were young, you couldn't do this, and now you do it perhaps a little too much.
Too much, yeah. No, but the book is very honest, and you know, I've read lots of my friends' autobiographies. Russell Brand, do you know Russell Brand?
No.
No. James Corden.
I know him.
Rob Brydon.
Yeah.
So I read, you know, all those books, and I think, you know, the best parts of all those books are when people are being completely and utterly honest. And if you're very truthful and you make yourself very vulnerable, I think that can only be a good thing.
I mean, you call it Camp David, you said, but you were quite camp as a youngster. You always were, what's the word, flouncy, or you liked performing in that kind of way, didn't you?
Well, when I was in junior school, there's a very popular programme on called Wonder Woman. And I used to play Wonder Woman in the playground. Because she had a little... May I? Just
please, just see.
Because when she would change into Wonder Woman... Do-do-do, like that.
Yeah. And you've got the little everything.
And I used to play Wonder Woman. I didn't think anything of it, because when you're young, and I was at an all-boys school, really up to the age of 16, you know, you don't really realise...
Well, there's a picture of you there, looking, I mean,
looking pretty hot.
Well, we should point out to younger viewers, these were the days before Photoshop, so you couldn't do anything about it.
I was in the CCF.
What's the CCF?
The Combined Cadet Force that you have at some schools.
That's so it's like a kind of naval thing.
Well, no, you get to choose between Army, Air Force and Navy. What do you think I chose?
Hello, sailor?
Correct. Because I thought it would be a good opportunity to camp about, and I was right.
But didn't you get in trouble for your camping about in this naval cadets?
I did, because I looked at all my old school reports, so there were lots saying, you know, I was being, you know, too disruptive. But yes, I did get told off for not taking that seriously.
Something about your marching.
I can't help the way I march. Well, no, because it was all sort of... There was lots of sort of standing around, and it's easy just to do something. Just to make it, and then when you have to march, it's easy just to go...
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Because at that point, I was just desperate for any opportunity to perform.
And so, did you not think as a kid, though, that you could go into performing? Because you obviously were finding opportunities in areas which weren't legitimate.
Yes, and that's why I was probably very annoying.
Yeah.
Because someone who constantly is seeking attention is actually quite annoying, even if they are a little bit entertaining.
How did you then go from being, by your own words there, slightly irritating occasionally, desperate to perform, camp, but enjoying the attention? How did you go from just being that to being someone who understands comedy, writes great comedy, and has made a career of comedy? That's what I think is a lot of people find very interesting and informative, but is the work you put in. Tell us about that journey.
Well, it's a long journey, but I think the most important part of it, and the reason I'm here today, is because of Matt Lucas. Meeting Matt Lucas is a comedy genius, and so I met him in 1990, and that's really, I think, when I kind of really realised what I wanted to do, because I wanted to work with him, and we formed this great double act. But it was a long journey through writing for children's TV. One of my first jobs was writing for Ant and Dec. They had a show,
we have a picture of you here with Ant and Dec, and you won't believe how young David is, but look at Ant and Dec, you forget.
They're so sweet there,
Did they not have
they?
any child labour laws in the north of England?
But at the time when I first met them, because you know people say can't tell them apart, so I had a thing in my head, so it's Hant and Dec. The one wearing a hat is Hant, or equals Ant. Hat and Ant equals Hant and Dec. But now, Ant doesn't wear the hat, so it's very hard
It's very difficult for
tell
you.
them apart.
I just remembered that they have different faces.
They do.
But they are lovely. They are.
I
You must
loved
have
them.
enjoyed
I
working.
loved working with them, but I used to really... I was quite naughty in the script meetings, because I used to... I was kind of bored sometimes, and to amuse them, I would just draw obscene drawings on the scripts and then pass them to them. And this is carried on to this day. Recently, we were all staying in the same hotel in Los Angeles, and I was passing obscene pictures under Ant's door. And then he started passing obscene ones under mine. And I've got a framed picture at home that Ant draw.
What's on it? What is
well,
it?
me, Ant and Dec, with all huge erections.
Wow.
How much would that be worth in years to come?
You know what? It doesn't sound to me like that's joking so much as a cry for help.
From me or them?
I think from all three of you. You're very honest in the book about, and this is the thing that people have picked up on in the papers, about the periods of depression you've had. And I was amazed when I read that, because I knew that you'd had some ups and downs, like everyone did, and I knew you'd had some upsetting times, because I haven't known you for that long, really. I mean, about 10 years, I guess. And even though I knew you'd gone through some upsetting times, I didn't know that they had affected you quite as deeply and quite as gravely, as is clear from reading your book now. How comfortable are you with that being out there? And did you have to... Were there people in your life who weren't aware of that to that extent yet, or were there...
Well, there are things in this book that I hadn't told anybody, but I kept a diary through a lot of my adult life, so I had a very, you know, accurate account of how I was thinking and feeling at that time. But I thought... but even through just the book being in newspapers, I've had a terrific response from the public and friends and people who say, yes, you know, I've been through this, or I know someone who's been through this. So, you know, I don't think it's anything to be ashamed of. It's just because it's mental health. People are uncomfortable with it. You know, if I was talking about dealing with a, you know, physical disease, I think it would be seen differently. But I just think, you know, why would you agree to do a book unless you were going to be honest in it? You know, but the onus is not on you to do that, because you know, well, you can see a lot of people got books out and they're just, you know, words on a page.
When you were writing those sections, though, and obviously you had your diary to go back to, and in one section of the book, there's the diary that kind of kicks off a period of upset that leads to a deep depression. Was it difficult for you to re-experience it in that way?
It was, because of course you remember all these things that happen in your life, but when you're trying to write it down to communicate it to other people, you really have to think about, you know, you have to set the scene and everything. So at times I was writing the book and I was in tears at you know, things that happened 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. But, you know, everyone's life has, you know, pain in it, and I do too, and I'm just giving an honest account of it.
You're obviously quite adept at compartmentalising those kind of things, or you were then? You kept it away from some people, or, you know, maybe you wanted other people to know, but, I mean, I know there's one instance where your mum comes to you after you've been in hospital and says, you must promise never to do this again. And the fact she didn't know you were heading towards that. Are you more open now with your feelings with those around you? I mean, your life is very different anyway.
Yeah,
but...
I think I'm in a much happier place, and also, you know, I didn't have a long-term partner, and now I'm married, and now, you know, all those things in a day that can upset you, you then take it to your, you know, both got, you know, lovely wives, and she's the person that I can immediately talk to. But the thing about depression is that you actually feel very isolated, and that you feel sort of embarrassed to talk to anybody. You know, because it's such a strange thing, it's going on in your head. So it's quite hard to reach out for help.
She's a very beautiful, very lovely... I've met Lara a couple of times. She's a very lovely woman as well. But you ever amazed that you end up with such an attractive wife, David?
Well, every morning I wake up and I look at her and I think, how did that happen? You know?
I love it. The same with me. When I wake up and I see my wife and I still think, why on earth are you still with me? What are... you know?
Well, we all think that.
Ah, OK.
But, no, but it's, I don't know, you know, I mean... It's great that they're not, you know, we didn't have to be that handsome.
Speak for yourself. Presumably you would like to have children again, I imagine?
Yeah, I'd love to have children. I think it's such a great thing, isn't it? And I've seen how you are with your children and what great dad you are, and I think it'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? And I think when you've got kids, you stop worrying so much about yourself, because it kind of becomes all about them.
Well, we have two young mums right there who would agree with you, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Best thing in the world.
You know, the expectations you have for your kids are much more than those you have for yourself, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, I think you kind of want their lives to be everything that maybe you'd wish for yourself, or even more, yes, certainly. Let's talk about Britain's Got Talent, because obviously that was a big thing that you got involved in, and I think you helped turn the fortunes of that show around. You know, you made it very popular in a way that hadn't been before, perhaps. It'd always been a popular show. And have you agreed to do another series? Is this
I've
right?
agreed to do 2 more.
Wow.
But I can't wait. You know, I'm watching The X Factor now, quite jealous I'm not there, because it's such a load of fun. You can't believe you get paid for it.
Yeah, I bet.
And I saw Simon...
there you are with Simon, and that is quite... because he's a deeply odd man, of course. And you have but he is, though, isn't it?
Straight. If he tunes in and sees the two of us say that about him, he'll be surprised.
He must know it.
He's an unusual character. But we were in Los Angeles, we were both at a friend's wedding, and I was sort of taking the mickey out of him, and he kept on saying, save it for the show, save it for the show. So I think it's going to be a great series. But I really love being with him.
Yeah,
it's never a dull moment. And he does laugh at himself a lot, which, well, he has to. But it's great that he does. But we had fun when he was on the show, didn't we? You know.
Well, of course, Stacey, you've encountered Simon as well, of course, haven't you?
Yeah, he's all right.
That's a sane response right there. I very much enjoyed the book.
Oh,
and I'm pleased with it. And you know what? I'm looking forward... So will the next one bring you right up to date, or are you going to stagger it even further?
It'll come up to this moment. What do they say? Jonathan looked at me with desire in his eyes. Little did I know, within minutes, we'd be in his dressing room. At it like wild dogs.
David Walliams, ladies and gentlemen. Marvellous. Thank you for giving us a finish. The fabulous David Walliams. Don't go away, because after the break I'll be chatting with the beautiful Charlotte Church. I'll see you in a minute. Welcome back. Let's get straight on and get my next guest out. And it seems weird saying this, but she's fresh from grilling the Prime Minister. And has just joined forces with Hugh Grant to take on media injustice. And, of course, as you know, she sings a little bit as well. It's Charlotte Church! Hey, Charlotte, you look fabulous. Glad to see you again. Come and have a sit down. So this day does seem weird when I see you being involved, and I can understand why, been involved with the Leveson inquiry and the Hacked Off campaign, and you've just been talking at the Tory party conference.
Yeah.
And you're not... It's not like you're someone who we don't see in kind of, like, high, you know, circles. I mean, you've performed at the White House, and you performed for royalty in this country.
Yeah, but that was donkeys years ago, man.
So how is it now? Is it weird for you to be going doing something so different?
Dude, I'm seriously not very politicised at all, and I found the whole thing kind of strange and a weird experience, but it was really interesting. It's kind of interesting to see the inner workings of it all a little bit. I mean, I was only there for about 24 hours, but... it was very interesting, and I'm really proud to be a part of Hacked Off. Essentially, Hacked Off is representing members of the public, much more so than celebrities or well-known people.
But that's kind of how the newspapers want to try and paint it, because they want to make it seem like you're whining and Hugh Grant is whining.
Of course, you know, it's basically a lot of areas. It's not the entirety of the press, but a lot of areas of the press who obviously don't want this. They want self-regulation to continue because then they're the bosses. And when money is king and influence is king as well, which is important to mention, then of course they don't want anything to change. But this is not about celebrities, or this is not about muzzling the press or trying to stop stories of famous people. It's not about that. It's about ordinary, normal members of the public, families who have been affected by crime, or, you know, charity organisations as well. There was a lot of charity organisations that gave the evidence at the Leveson inquiry. Well,
I think, you know, it's interesting, because, of course, really, I think it was when the truth came out, or the story broke about Millie Dowler's family. That was when, I think, public opinion changed about it. And everyone thought, OK, this isn't Hugh Grant getting annoyed because he's being photographed in a situation he's not happy with. This is, you know, real people going through terrible situations who are being treated, you know, harshly and wrongly and being abused.
Abused. And, you know, there's a massive amount of fiction that goes on, and it's not fair. It's not fair to the general public to, you know, to what they trust and believe to be truth, when a lot of it is fiction. Sorry, this is so serious.
No, but you did start the whole thing by saying dude, so we let you off the hook. I've always thought you were someone who had a lot of common sense, and you obviously, but, you know, you seem to be very, very enamoured by this and very kind of enlivened by it. It's sort of something new in your life. Are you going to carry on? Do you want to campaign for other things after this, or do you want to take a break, or would you ever go into politics?
No. No, it was horrific, honestly.
Just because it was so boring?
Singing is what I do, that music is my love, and whilst I believe in this massively because it has really affected my family, and I can see the injustice of it all, and the injustice irks me a lot. And I suppose I would really try hard not to get myself into any other situations where there is any sort of big injustice, which would really move me, because otherwise I can't help it. I can't help but get involved.
You mentioned music's your first love, and you're making new music now, OK? One thing that strikes me as being... I'm always curious is the stuff you sang for years, and the stuff that put you on the map, and the stuff that people loved. They loved hearing you sing...
Beautiful.
How many times do you reckon you sang...
I probably sang... around, I don't know, a couple of thousand times. Okay.
And it's a big old number. A showstopper. Well, there you... Were you singing it then when we first met?
No, that was my first thing ever.
That's so weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I was 9.
I was 17. Because people love hearing you do that, but you don't want to do that kind of singing anymore, do you?
It's not a case of, like, I think that... and to be fair, I never did anything near opera. You know, I was a classical singer, it was more classical crossover, and I was very young, but I think opera is a beautiful art form. It's unbelievable, faultless in some ways, but... It's constrictive, and there isn't much freedom in it. You kind of have to sing...
It's prescribed in some way. Could you still sing opera, though, or would you have to retrain to sing?
I definitely have to retrain. I can still do it, but I can't do it, you know, like I should be able to.
And so do you ever sing it just for fun around the house?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Which arias does one reach for?
I
bet Nessun Dorma comes out occasionally.
No, dude, no? That's a song for a tenor.
OK. Well, as I know. Yeah. What about Mio Bambino...
Oh, Mio Bambino Caro?
Yeah.
No, not really.
What?
Yeah, no, not really. It's generally...
What about the beautiful Le British Airways advert?
Oh, it's the Flower Duet. I don't even know its proper name. I know it as the Flower Duet, which
Lakme.
is... Lakme, yes, sorry, that's dreadful.
Do you ever do that?
Yeah, I could bang out a bit of Lakme every now and again.
Can you do that a little bit now?
No.
Dude.
I'm trying to tell you about my new stuff, but since you're such a little bastard...
Okay. Pecorino. Is that in a word even? I don't know.
I have no idea. Un petit peu.
Un petit peu.
Oh, Christ alive. Serious?
Get it out, girl.
I know, I got him. That's
wow.
it.
Wow, you still got it. It's still in there. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that incredible? It's incredible.
Thank you. I feel like a right dickhead now.
Ed, a little bit of opera from you.
Yeah.
OK, we'll come back to you. But you're doing limited, which I guess this is, and I know because I've been in contact a little bit with Charlotte over the last year or so, occasionally, and I know it really matters to you. I know this is stuff that you're really comfortable doing, and you're kind of moving into a whole new area now, aren't you? Really?
Absolutely. It's more like a band project, and it's something quite different to anything I've done before. The plan is I'm going to do 5 EPs. So my first EP is out now, which is called One. It's me, my partner Johnny, and our guitarist and bassist Jamie Neeson. We're the songwriters, and then we take the band into the studio. I built a studio in my garage, which is awesome. I can't believe I just did the rock sign accidentally. That's really embarrassing. Yeah, and kind of produced it all ourselves as well. So it's been a bit DIY.
Because when you went solo before, well, not solo, when you did the kind of the modern stuff before, you did Crazy Chick and that kind of stuff. And
yeah.
So that was all given to you. That was created by other people.
That's a machine.
Yeah.
It truly is a machine.
But I thought it was pretty good. It was OK. It was fun.
Oh, it was all right. It was a bit throwaway, wasn't it?
You didn't really feel like it had something that you wanted to say in it.
And also, I was a baby. I wrote some of the songs for that as well, but I wrote the songs when I was like 16, 17, 18. And I know, like, Ed's a young pup, but he's obviously a much better songwriter than me, than I was at that age. But,
Stacey, do you mind slipping over in between David and Ed for me? Are you enjoying that, Ed?
Erupted.
Will you stop molesting the poor boy? And so yeah, it was a totally different experience to anything I've had before. And because there's not really any commercial pressures, and it's not like I want to sell a shit ton of albums. It's like
you just want to get music out there which means something to you, and see if it means something to them as well. I guess.
Absolutely,
okay.
It's a great thing.
So this is the first release from the first of the EPs.
Yes.
What's this track called?
This is called How Not to Be Surprised When You're a Ghost.
Okay, well there you go. Let's have a look at this. Ghosts. I saw ghosts. I saw dead people. I tell you what I'd like to do is just hearing that little bit of singing there. I love hearing your voice live. I'm going to ask you, we're doing a Christmas special for Christmas. I'm going to ask you right here, if you're free, would you come back and sing one of your own songs on the Christmas special?
Yes, that'd be lovely.
Okay,
I'd love
I
to
would
do that.
love
Thank
to
you.
have that happen. That would be a treat for all of us. But I'm going to say thank you for coming on, and I love seeing this new crusading Charlotte.
Oh, Christ, it's embarrassing. I can't help it. I can't help myself. I really apologise.
Yeah, but it's a good phase in your life. Ladies and gentlemen, the fabulous Charlotte Church.
Thank you.
Thank you, Charlotte. Don't go away. After the break, I'll be joined by Stacey Solomon, and we've still got Ed Sheeran to come, so see you in a minute. Welcome back. It's time for our next guest here. She survived the X Factor, she survived the jungle, she even survived the green room with David Walliams. It's the lovely Stacey Solomon. I love your dress. I love that with the smiley face on it. Come on. Sit down. Those shoes are high. You're kind of toddling on those shoes, aren't you?
Waddling through.
OK. You know, it's weird, because I don't really know you, but I feel like I know you, because you seem very approachable on television always, and I think we should congratulate you. You just had is it your 23rd birthday? You just celebrated?
23.
OK.
It's a big one.
Well, congratulations. And did you celebrate in big Essex style? Did you have like a pink limo, and did you have champagne or Lambrini or something?
I had a little party, just with all my friends, and who'd have thought it? I've got quite a few. Just friends and family, sitting there, dancing to the Spice Girls, as you do.
You know what was charming? When I saw you on the X Factor, the first thing you were singing, and when you came out, you know, because you've got a big personality and you've got that accent, they were surprised, I think, when you started singing and you turned out you had such a beautiful voice. This must have been, I would have thought, a reaction you'd had in the past.
To be honest, I didn't really sing in front of many people. I was always a bit embarrassed. In Dagenham, not many people get up and just break into song, so I was always quite reserved.
But this is, in case you didn't see it, and I watched this again knowing Stacey was coming on. This was the first appearance you had in front of the judge, I think. And you'll see the way they react. Have a look at this.
Hello.
Hiya.
And what's your name?
Stacey.
Where are you from, Stacey?
Dagenham.
No. What's the dream here?
to win this.
Yeah? Are you any good?
I hope so. You
Who's
might
top?
not think so. I see trees that are green, red roses too. I watch them bloom for me and for you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
And I don't know if you remember that, but all the judges went on to say, wow, I'm surprised because I didn't expect to hear you sing as well as that, and they were all knocked out. You came third, OK?
Yeah.
But that was 3 years ago, is that right?
Yeah.
3 years ago. Still no album yet.
I know.
But you are doing an album, is this right?
Yes. We've at the end of finishing the album, we've got to do all the artwork and things like that, and we're hoping to release in February.
And is this songs that you've written, or the
Yeah,
songs...
the majority of songs that I've written. There are a couple of classics on there that I absolutely love, but the rest of the album is all me, and I've written it all.
Well, and could you tell me what one of the classics are, or a couple of classics?
Well, I don't know if anyone will actually know it, but it's a song that I really love, Secret Heart.
Never heard of it.
It's one of my favourites.
Who is it by? Who's it by?
Ron Sexsmith.
Oh, I know Ron Sexsmith. Yeah, do you know Ron Sexsmith? Ed, you must know Ron Sexsmith.
I played Jules Holland with him.
Wow. David, do you know Sexsmith?
I know the name, but I don't know what he does.
Well, that sounds great, though. It's like we were talking to Charlotte about. You know, it's exciting that you're connected with it in a way that matters to you.
Yeah, exactly. If you're going to do something, you've got to do it properly, and you've got to be proud of it, and all I've ever wanted is to be really proud of my music, so I'm glad that I've been able to wait this long and work hard.
Hey, let me ask you something. When you're in the jungle, because that's about to start again, I love that show, you ate some of those horrible things they give you to eat.
Yeah.
What were the worst things you ate? Did you eat the testicles?
No.
Oh, you started saying yes then, and then you realised...
It's kind of the same thing.
You did start saying yes. You went, yeah, oh, no. Oh, in the jungle, no. Dagenham, yes. Jungle, no.
Because it was like the same connecting bit, you know.
Yeah,
like,
oh,
it wasn't that bit, it was the other bit.
Oh, you ate the penis?
The willy.
Who's that? Which one?
Whose was it?
What animal? We didn't get his name. What animal was it? Kangaroo?
Yeah, kangaroo. Yeah, but it didn't really look like a willy.
No, well, I've never seen a kangaroo, so what did it look like?
You just showed one, didn't you?
Well, I wasn't staring at it. I hope it wasn't his. There he is. Oh, look at him. On a totally different subject, I love dogs, and I know that you've been doing Britain's top dog model.
Yep.
Is it Britain's next top dog model?
It's just top dog model.
Top dog model. OK, which is a crazy and fun idea for a show. What are the animals... if people haven't seen it, what have you been looking for in these dogs?
Well, we have a model called Lila on the panel who's actually looking for model material, as in cheekbones and all sorts. We've got a man called Addison who casts dogs, and he actually casts things like Marley and me. Like, he really actually does it. It's a real job, and I didn't know. And I'm the one that's like, oh, he's a mongrel, I love him.
So you're a dog lover, just a dog lover, buddy?
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
Have you got something to show us? Because we're ready if he's ready.
Whoa!
Good boy. Oh, my goodness. We did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. That's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Good boy. Good boy.
Wow!
Wow, that's the audition of Simba. He won the competition. What does he get? What's his prize?
He gets a modelling contract, so he gets to do an advert for a cleaning product.
Wow.
And Simba's part of it. It's wicked.
Well, that is exciting. And are you doing another series?
Oh, I hope so. We don't know yet. It's just finished.
OK. Here's exciting news. We have Simba the dog right here. I don't know if you saw me. We're going to bring Dan out with Simba right now. This is Simba, the winning Leon Burger. Look at the size of Simba. Wow, what a beauty. What a beauty. Hello. Hello.
Good to see you.
Look at the size of this boy. How old is Simba?
Simba's 15 months. He's still a baby, really.
No, he's still a puppy. Hang on. Hold on. Hang on. Hello, yes. Wow.
Sit down.
Blimey.
Lie down.
You can see you spent time with Walliams because that's... OK, hang on. Now, you know the thing you did with the piggyback, does he still do that? Can you do that?
We've not actually done that since the audition. It wasn't even planned on the day either.
So you just thought, OK, if we asked you to do it here, would we be able to try it here in the studio?
I reckon he'd probably be up for it. He's always up for having a bit of fun, yeah,
OK,
definitely.
I tell you what.
Simmer, sit.
Let's relax.
Sit.
Good boy, good boy. I think I might be brave enough to give it a go.
Sounds good to me, yeah.
Because I love dogs.
Absolutely.
Will he be... do I stand up?
It's up to you. I mean...
Do I get down first?
I tend to go on my knees first and then, like, kind of raise up from that. I mean, it's up to you, Jonathan.
Simba, you're having
it looks
fun,
like you've been
aren't you?
working out.
Oh, you're having fun. You're having fun. You're having fun. You're having fun. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. He's a good boy.
Demands attention.
OK. All right, so I'm going to try to give Simba... This is the first time I've given a dog a piggyback. OK, so calm down.
If he becomes attracted to you instantly, Jonathan, I can't be held responsible.
So I just get down here?
If you just go on your knees.
OK, OK.
Simba, what's this? Simba, sit.
OK.
Simba, sit. Simba, sit. Sit.
Hold on. OK. Oh, blimey. Oh, blimey. He's... Oh, hold on. He's heavy. Come on. You want to give it? Okay. Let's try it. I'll try and get up with him on. Come on in. OK, here we go. I'm going for it. Oh, you've got to hold him steady at the back. He's living off. OK. We tried. We tried. OK, no, not there.
What poor attempt? You're feeble. You look so strong.
But no, he kept slipping off me. He kept slipping. He couldn't get purchase. It's because I've got narrow hips.
Sit down, good one.
Oh, Simba, that was fun. Thank you. Let's say thank you to Simba and Dan, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Simba.
Very nice to see you again. Simba! Come here, mister. Simba. Come on, mister.
You know...
He's lovely, isn't he?
Yeah, but I don't think that's a trick.
What, do you think he's really attracted to you?
I think he's just... no, he's just randy. He was get on anyone given the chance.
Like a cuddle.
He didn't. I felt something nudging against the back.
No way.
He was knocking on the door. Stacey, lovely to have you on. I've been a fan of yours since I first saw you, and I loved you in the jungle. I thought you were terrific, and I think everyone loved you in the jungle. I'm looking forward to the album. I'm looking forward to seeing you more on TV. It's lovely to have you here. Stacey Solomon. Thank you, Stacey. It's a pleasure. Relax, sit down there. Stacey Solomon, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a final break, but don't go away, because when you come back, the very talented Ed Sheeran will be chatting and performing live. See you in a minute. Welcome back. Let's get my final guest out. He's one of the biggest selling music artists in the world right now. Will you please welcome Ed Sheeran?
I might be a bit heavier than that, look.
It's great to have you here. I loved hearing you at the top of the show. I can't wait to hear you perform a whole song, Life is In. But this has been an incredible year or so for you, I guess.
Well, this is the kind of pinnacle of it for me. Like, honestly, I've been watching your show since a very young age, and it was quite weird when you walked in earlier, because I have an old science teacher that really had the same mannerisms and kind of same facial kind of thing as you.
Very handsome, very charismatic.
Of course, yeah. So when you walked in, I just assumed I knew you, because obviously I'd grown up watching you on TV, and my science teacher was like that as well. But yeah.
Hold it. When you say your science teacher was like that as well,
I brought a picture of him. See what you think. He's called Mr. Wheeler.
Mr. Wheeler.
He was my favourite teacher.
Did he speak? Did he say the letter R in an incorrect way like me, or he just was?
Where do I point that? There.
Let's have a look.
What do you think? What do you reckon? He's getting me. What do you think?
Looks like Prince Andrew.
He's a good lad.
Well, that's nice. It's lovely to meet you as well. And I'm thrilled your success is such a kind of like a modern story, isn't it? Someone who did their own music and then you put it out there, and it grew pretty naturally, didn't it? The following you had kind of grew just from people talking to each other, word of mouth.
Yeah, it's a very weird thing. Like, the internet has been a pretty integral part, but also as much as the kind of live thing is. So, like, as I was doing shows and kind of after shows, I'd, like, just be selling CDs out of my rucksack and stuff like that, and then, like, that night people would kind of share it online and give it to their friends, and it would just kind of build this little community. So by the time that it came to a lot of labels offering deals, I was already selling out shows around the country.
Wow.
and kind of already selling independently quite well. So it was good to kind of have that foundation.
It must feel kind of unreal, though, your life in the last couple of years, because you've gone from playing in small venues and taking your own CDs along the same afterwards to hanging out with the people you grew up listening to, I guess. I mean, like doing the Brits, doing the closing Olympic ceremony.
Well, actually, one of the when I did the Queen's Jubilee, which was quite fun, I was doing an interview with Chris Evans, and it was on this kind of like grass bit with loads of different performers around, and there was kind of like Elton John and Cliff Richard and all these people just milling about. It was a bit surreal, to be honest, and I was having an interview with Chris Evans, and Paul McCartney walks past. I'm like, oh shit, it's Paul McCartney, wicked. And Chris Evans was kind of like, oh, you should go up and say hi to him. And I was like, I didn't really want to be that sort of person that just walks up to someone, shakes their hand, takes a picture and buggers off. Like, I actually wanted to kind of sit down with him and properly talk. So, yeah, we carried on conversation, me and Chris Evans, and then suddenly I get a tap on my back, and I turn around and it's Paul McCartney there, and I'm like, you all right? And
I hope you said, not now, Paul, I'm busy.
No, he told me that he loved my music and he'd first seen it on Hollyoaks, which I think was amazing, that Paul McCartney watches Hollyoaks.
But you have very ardent fans, I know that. I mean, I know we had a lot of excitement here. People excited about hearing Ed play this evening, aren't they? We had a lot when we announced you were on. We had a lot of people want to come and see the show. How kind of devoted are your fans? Do you have much interaction with them?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it depends where and when I'm playing, but if it's a relatively small venue, after every gig I'll go out and say hi to as many people as I can. It started to get more and more difficult in England because obviously the gigs have got a lot bigger, but we've just, you know, I've just come back from 6 weeks in America kind of doing any venues from kind of 500 capacity to 5,000 capacity, and it kind of was manageable there, but yeah, it's good.
Do they send you stuff? Do they make you stuff? We had Taylor Swift on last week. I know she gets some weird stuff. I know you've worked with her. Yeah. We had Justin Bieber on. He gets sent a lot of weird stuff in the mail. Yeah. Do you get that kind of fan?
I mean, I get some really cool stuff from fans. Like a fan knitted me like a doll the other day that was like a perfect thing. It even had like tattoos and like the necklace and everything. But occasionally you get the weird thing. Like I get baked a lot of cakes, and at the beginning of my career, I ate the cakes. You do. If you're given cakes, you eat cakes.
I've never met a cake I don't like.
Yeah. Well, I cut into this cake to eat it, and as I pulled it out, it was just this big clump of hair that kind of went like that. And I was kind of like, you know, there's a mistake if there's one hair or two hairs, but it's a clump of hair. And I have a feeling that this girl kind of wanted me to eat the cake, so next time she saw me, she could kind of be like, I'm inside you. And it was a bit odd. I can't tell whether he's enjoying that or
I don't know what that face is.
I'm the one who gave him the cake.
He's angry with you. You didn't eat him. He's still outside of you. Hey, here's an exciting thing I heard, is that, and is this true, that, have you heard of the chicken restaurant Nando's, ladies and gentlemen? I hear they wanted to name a sauce after you.
I've actually got a box of that sauce at home.
But so what they call it, is it called Ed Sheeran's special sauce?
It just says Ed's Peri Peri, and it's hot, which is weird because I only like the medium one. The hot's a bit too... It kind of...
The hot's too hot?
Well, you get a bit of ring sting, and it's not really ideal the next day, to be honest.
What a lovely endorsement for Nando's, that is. Do you know what's in it?
Ooh.
I imagine they must have some ginger in there, mustn't they? There must be...
Yeah, I think just like sprinkles of happiness and stuff like that.
Oh, that's nice. Rainbows of happiness and a little bit of a mad person's hair. Great to have you here. You're going to perform for us. What song are you going to do for us this evening?
I'm going to play a song called Give Me Love.
You're going to go and play for us. It's Ed Sheeran, ladies and gentlemen. You go up and get yourself ready. Great to meet you, dude. Thank you for coming on the show. Mr. Ed Sheeran. OK, that's this week's show. Will you join me in saying thank you to my guests? Next week on the show, I have the brilliantly funny David Mitchell here. Hollywood movie star Bradley Cooper will be on the couch. We have music from Emily Sandé, and from one of the biggest rock stars in the world, from Aerosmith, I've got Steven Tyler and Joe Perry as guests. But now to play us out with his track Give Me Love, it's Ed Sheeran!
give me love like her. Cause lately I've been waking up alone. Pain splattered teardrops on my shirt. I told you I'd let them go, and that I'd fight my corner, and that tonight I'll cool you after my blood turns into alcohol. No, I just wanna hold you. Give a little time to me. We'll burn this out. We'll play hide and seek to turn this around. All I want is the taste that your lips allow. Mama, mama, give me love. 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 Give me love like never before. Cause lately I've been craving you more. And it's been a while, but I still feel the same now. Maybe I should let you go. Cause you know I'll fight my corner, and that tonight I'll cool you after my blood is drowning in alcohol. No, I just wanna hold ya. Oh, now, and give a little time to me. We'll burn this out, but we'll play hide and seek to turn this around. All I want is the taste that your lips allow. Mama, mama, give me love and give a little time to me. We'll burn this out, and we'll play hide and seek to turn this around. And all I want is the taste that your lips allow. Mama, mama.